Hello, fair ladies and gentlemen. May I draw your attention to my umbrella? Where did that come from? What's so special about your umbrella? Everyone has one. Yours isn't special, except the color. I do like the color. I really like that color. Mine is brown. I don't like brown. It's so brown. Right, okay. Anyway, my umbrella is not ordinary. It has portholes. Watch this. What did he just say? Oh, I'm not sure. The umbrella muffled his voice. Hey, what did you just say? What? What did you just say? Anyway, as I was saying, this umbrella has portholes, so you can see where you're going, even when it's raining. That's stupid. Who holds an umbrella that low on their head? The glass used for the holes would make the umbrella heavy, and make the cloth around it rip. Plus, water could get through the stitches where it is sewn in. So you don't like my umbrella? No, I think it's incredibly stupid. Oh, okay. I really like that color. Such a nice room. Hello and welcome to another episode of True Historical Fiction. This time we will be taking a look at 9 crazy inventions you won't believe actually existed. Throughout the ages, the world has seen many ingenious inventions hit the market. Automobiles, wash machines, vacuum cleaners, telephones, and the light bulb, to mention just a few. For every successful invention, however, there are always hundreds that fail, or some that simply don't stand the test of time. Here are 9 bizarre inventions from throughout history that either failed completely, simply didn't catch on, or didn't stand the test of time. Crazy invention number 1. The urban window baby cage. The urban window baby cage was used in the 1930s to give infants plenty of fresh air. Doctors encouraged the use of these potential death traps in the name of health, stating that the urban window baby cage would allow for the child to get plenty of fresh air, which would boost their immune systems and keep them generally healthier. While fresh air is really good for young children especially, the obvious danger factor of suspending a child several stories above a city street might just cancel out those beneficial health factors. There are a few things to note about the urban window baby cage. First, take a look at these tiny metal rods whose job it is to ensure that the cage and the baby inside of it stay well above the street. Secondly, note how the back of the cage has in fact no back. This means the child inside could easily fall right back into the room, and as you are likely aware, windows are rarely just above floor level. Ouch. None of that is mentioning the large gaps in the wire where a child's appendages could easily get caught and or cut. Plus, get a load of those huge spaces around the entire cage where a kid could simply fall out the window onto the street below. Kids back in the days were made of tougher stuff. The ones that survived, anyway. Crazy invention number 2. The yodeling meter. A device called a yodeling meter, invented sometime around the 1920s, was a device that could measure the pitch of a singer's voice. The yodeling meter, while not being that much of a crazy idea, considering its job is to measure the pitch of a singer's voice, does have a very interesting name. Who came up with the name yodeling meter instead of just a voice meter or singing meter? I would like to personally congratulate them on that one. I think that's so awesome. Crazy invention number 3. The mass shaving machine. The 19th century is known for its many inventions, particularly ones that make a person's work faster and more efficient. One such invention hit the barbershops. This device was known as a mass shaving machine, designed to shave a dozen men all at once. I find the mass shaving machine extremely amusing. I want to highlight a few things in this picture for you. First, take a look at this man's face. He looks like he just saw something he wishes he could forget. Then you have his friend next to him who looks properly horrified. But please, note the barber who seems to be thoroughly enjoying freaking everyone out. One question I have is, how do you get a custom cut if the barber who is cutting your facial hair is all the way across the room? I don't think there can be much precision at that distance, but perhaps I'm mistaken. Then look at this man. If you go any higher up on his face, you will be in for an eyebrow trim. His whole nose is covered in shaving cream. Crazy invention number 4, the family bicycle. Imagine it's the weekend and your whole family would benefit from a nice ride about town on bicycles. But you have a few problems holding you back. First, mother has an unending pile of sewing work to do, and secondly, pedal work is above your daughter's capability. Nonetheless, the whole family has to go, otherwise there's no point. Introducing the solution to all your problems, the family bicycle. Mother can still do her sewing work as you go along, and your daughter's only occupation for the duration of the ride is to hold onto her seat. You only need to purchase one bicycle, and the whole family can enjoy hours of fun. Where do I even start with the family bicycle? Maybe I should first point out that anyone who has come in contact with a treadle sewing machine, especially those who have had the pleasure of lifting one, will know from experience that they weigh a ton, probably literally. If you look at the bicycle on a whole, it is so tall that it probably would only take a good gust of wind to knock the whole thing over, pinning mother underneath of it. The only person in this picture who appears to be actually enjoying themselves is the daughter, and little surprise there, since all she has to do is hold on. Most of the pedal work will fall onto the son, because father is busy steering, and anyway, every time he pedals he will kick his son in the face, so keep it up, champ, you're doing great. I mean, he looks exhausted. Refer back to how heavy mother's sewing machine is, and speaking of the sewing machine, how is mother supposed to get any proper sewing work done anyway? She has to constantly worry about accidentally getting her fabric caught in the front bicycle tire. Besides that, you can't tell me that it is a completely smooth ride, so bumping about would make her work more difficult to do, and there's always the risk of getting your fabric dirty. I could go on and on about this one, but let's move on, shall we? Crazy invention number 5, rain goggles for race drivers. In the 1930s, a special type of goggles was made for race drivers who happened to have to race in the rain occasionally. Rain goggles for race drivers featured a tight waterproof fit and wipers on the lenses, so racers could always see where they are going, even if they are racing in the rain in an open-top car. The way this handy little gadget works is the airflow created from driving in an open-top car makes the fan on the top of the goggle spin, which in turn operates the wiper blades. The frequent wiping motion, especially if you're driving quite quickly, the faster you drive, the faster they wipe, would be more distracting to me than a few raindrops. And if it's downpouring, then you have other problems. Crazy invention number 6, the Pramobile. This particular product is for mothers who value taking their babies for walks, but a walking pace is not satisfying. Why not hit the streets at an impressive 15 miles per hour in a Pramobile? Invented in the 1920s, this bicycle and stroller combination is a predecessor for child-carrying trailers that parents can hitch onto the back of their bikes nowadays. Walking is too boring, so you have to hit the streets at 15 miles per hour. That's almost 25 kilometers per hour. That's insanely fast. Crazy invention number 7, suspended baby carrier. The suspended baby carrier requires 2 parents and a child to function. Each parent shoulders a strap across their opposite shoulder, and the child gets suspended in the middle. Seems safe, especially while ice skating. What can I say about the suspended baby carrier? Maybe that if both parents drifted apart suddenly, they would accidentally slingshot their kid into the air? That baby carrier just looks like a disaster waiting to happen. Crazy invention number 8, the rubber bumper. During the first few decades of the 20th century, you had to be very careful when on the road, especially as a pedestrian. Automobiles were a fairly new invention, and people hadn't quite gotten adapted to having them around just yet. Some years even saw car crash deaths surpass the 20,000 people mark, and injuries as a result of car crashes hit above the 100,000 mark. An inventor by the name of A.J. Grafton decided to make things a little safer by inventing a special bumper. It was a sponge rubber seat attached to the front of a car that would catch pedestrians safely when they were hit by a speeding automobile. The idea behind the rubber bumper is not a bad one. Can we just appreciate this guy's acting skills though? I mean, look at how he arranged his legs. That's impressive. Unless, of course, they actually hit the man with the car for demonstration purposes, in which case he isn't actually acting. Crazy invention number 9, a butter protector. This last one is truly ridiculous. In the 1950s, amateur inventor Russell E. Oakes solved the prevalent problem of accidentally dragging your sleeve through a stick of butter during dinner. He created a sputter-like gadget whose sole purpose is to protect your sleeve from the butter, or the butter from your sleeve, whichever you prefer. This is by far the most ridiculous and redundant invention on this list. Why do you need a butter protector? If you do, here are a few tips for you. Maybe use a covered butter dish, or better yet, lift your arms a tiny bit higher. Move the butter dish, or ask for it to be passed to you. The butter protector looks like it wouldn't be very hard to accidentally knock over or set into the butter when placing it, and his sleeves aren't even loose. The butter protector is so useless and ridiculous, that guy must have been pretty bored when he came up with that one. Which of these crazy inventions straight from the pages of history interested you the most? Do you think any of these deserve a comeback? Or are they better left in the pages of history? I hope you'll stick around to enjoy more of my content in the future. Please like, subscribe, and comment to support my channel. Thanks.